didn't do it. Yeah, you're right.
Right, time for a crowd shot. Well,
this meeting of the House Education Committee is convening for its last official meeting of this deadline series. I'm assuming this will probably be our last meeting for the session as a committee. I know at some point in time we'll be looking at the conference bills, and I'll be assisting the speaker in picking out conference to deal with the Senate on certain bills. But we have a couple of items on the agenda today. One of them we should be able to address very quickly. That is Senate Bill number 2313, deals with local school superintendents, and the title, I believe, on my agenda sheet says they're all appointed after January the 1st of 2016. And what we're actually proposing is a strike all that just creates a task force that will convene after the session that has 2 members appointed by the Lieutenant Governor, 2 members appointed by the Governor. 2 by the Speaker, 2 by the Lieutenant Governor, and 3 by the Speaker, 3 by the Lieutenant Governor, and 5 by the Governor. That will actually come together and determine just exactly how and what's involved in the process of doing that. And then they'll report back to this committee, and we'll decide next year whether or not to move forward with it. There's no rush. There's not an election next year. It does not have to be dealt with immediately. And so I'm asking the committee to allow that to go through the process. We are striking the Senate bill to put that language in just to look at it during the summer and make a determination if it can actually be done and if it's going to actually benefit the districts to go that direction. And I will look for it. If this committee passes that on out, if the chamber passes it, and we will seek an input and ideas from every committee. Is there any questions on the issue, gentlemen?
Mr. Chairman, not on the bill itself, just procedure. I'll just see that door with a lot of folks still outside. Probably we could get a larger room so we could accommodate some of this late interest we generated out in the hall.
It would actually take us longer to move to another room than it would for to complete the committee business today.
Is there any special way? Is there so many out there that couldn't get in here?
Well, the room's not big enough. 113 is not big enough to accommodate them. So we're going to carry on with business. And the press is in here, so they're recording everything that's actually going on. And I apologize if you have different people like this need to be for those reasons. I don't have a room for. Are there any questions of me on this particular bill? No. Motion is item sufficient to pass strike off. As amended. Item sufficient to pass Senate Bill 2313 as amended. All in favor of that motion say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no.
No.
And your roll call amended, so motion to reconsider.
Motion to
Motion to table, all in favor of the motion to table, say aye. Aye. All opposed, say no. Okay, Senate Bill 2313 as amended is gone. Ladies and gentlemen, we're getting ready to take the Senate Bill number 2401, commonly known as the Charter School Bill. We're not going to have a lot of discussion on it. We're going to go straight to a vote here in just a few minutes. It has been discussed. We've had the subcommittee chairman had hearings, and it has been. We've responded to every question that the House members out there have had, and we've had a meeting down in 113 where we actually considered questions, and there were very few questions that were actually asked. We went through the changes that had been made to the existing bill, which included, we took successful districts out, we took the virtual schools out, we changed the language within the bill that had to do with teacher certification. We removed the extracurricular activities from the bill, and that's kind of where we are. There hasn't been anything changed in it since that point in time. Because this is a historical vote that we're having here today, and we'll be changing the direction of the flow for the rest of history, or either we will vote today to keep things exactly as they are in 2012. And what I want to do for historical purposes, I'm going to start on my left over here, and I'm going to ask every person in the room. It's going to take about 10 minutes. Other than the press and other than members that are in the room, I'm going to ask you to identify yourself and who you're with. We'll start back in the back corner over here with me.
Sydney Allen. Stuart Bill Barnes office.
Orange, policy. I'll clerk it all, so that's
City Family, Superintendent of Hines County. United School District.
Molly Brooks, auditor of the City of Cleveland, and Black Alliance for Educational Outreach.
David Dagnall, Superintendent of School District, Davis School District.
Arlen Crockett, one of your constituents from Rankin County.
Jerry Osmond, Central Mississippi Tea Party.
Y'all speak loud so we can hear you.
Margaret Moore, Central Mississippi Tea Party.
Grant Callen, Mississippi Center for Public Policy.
Caroline Sims, Butler Snow.
Milton Kirkendall, Superintendent of DeSoto County.
Nancy Loom, the Parents Campaign.
Sam Bound, Superintendent Association.
Kelly Riley, Mississippi Professional Educator.
Mike Sayre, Southern Echo.
Sherry Boyd. And Karen Boyd.
John Garner. Representative myself.
Education. All Summer, all Department of Education.
Mary Turner, Mississippi Legislative Conservative.
Chuck Garrett, Superintendent of Washington.
Mike Kent, MD. Tom Burns, Mississippi Department of Education.
Charles McClellan, State Board of Education.
And as we move around to the next one,
Johnny Franklin, Office of the Governor.
and one that I want to point out here before we move, that has worked very hard for this, not only for this chairman, but for a lot of the committee members and the subcommittee chairman, is the lady that's trying to run out of the room over here right now. And I think Ms. Alice deserves a round. Most of you don't realize just the kind of pressure that she's under on a daily basis. I want to thank our attorney for this session, DeJuan. He's responded amazingly when I've asked him to do things. DeJuan, I thank you very much for your work. Before we call this bill up for a vote, I want to make a statement as the chairman of the Education Committee. at the beginning of this session, I kind of defined the direction that I would have liked to see things go, but it's not about me. It's about this committee and it's about the children of the state of Mississippi. We have looked at legislation that would pull the bottom schools up and at the same time give the opportunity for the upper schools to just launch to the stars. There are many of us in this room that actually represent districts that are either star performing or high performing or successful. And evidently our people and the teachers in those districts and the administrators are doing a good job. So we've crafted this piece of legislation that's before us to almost let this be a positive tool for those districts. So if they wanted a charter school or if they wanted a specialty school in their district, they could do it, while at the same time creating an avenue for the districts that are failing, that are low performing and on academic watch or at risk of failing. Give those parents and those children an opportunity to reach for the stars also. And the ones of us on the top, if we choose to vote no on this bill, in my opinion, I would be personally telling the people on the bottom, I don't care. You're just going to have to fend for yourself. This is one of those tools that goes out there for the people that you and I represent that will allow our students, every one of them, to achieve a high-quality education. It would be my ambition as the chairman of this committee, and I'm sure every member of this committee, that every child in this state be participating in a star school district. And that not being satisfactory, that it be that even the star districts are looking for ways to push up, to not try to achieve a national average, but to try to be the education system throughout this country that people are trying to rise to achieve our excellence. This committee is going to define itself right here in the next few minutes with this vote. And before you call your vote out in just a few minutes, I want you to think about that. And this particular bill will either keep moving through the process. You and I each know that it just because it passes this committee does not mean it's going to pass on the floor. And just because it passes on the floor does not mean it becomes law, because it has to go through another set of hands before we can actually make it to the governor's desk. But with that in mind, I'm not going to yield for any questions, not going to yield for any statements. We're going to recognize the gentleman from Clarksdale for a motion, and then we're going to have a vote on this bill.
Time sufficient to pass. As amended.
Okay, you have heard the motion. We got one quick question. We're not going to get into any discussion.
My question is following the procedure. The bill is laid on the table, you got to call that up.
That is exactly correct. The bill is on the table, subject to call. The motion is to pull this bill off the table so we can take a vote on it. All in favor of that motion say aye. Aye. All opposed say no. No. Okay, the ayes have it. The bill is
Roll call.
before us. The bill is before us.
Roll call? Question the roll call.
Okay, roll call on that vote.
By name.
All in favor of removing the bill from the table for further consideration, we will call the roll. Yes.
Yes,
Calling your name.
Yes. You won't be able to vote.
Okay, say it loud.
Yes.
Yes.
Arnold?
Yes.
She's going to have to be loud, right?
Arnold?
Yes.
Bain?
No.
Gardner?
Aye.
Boyd?
Aye.
Barnett? No. Calhoun?
No.
Chisholm?
Aye.
Crawford? Aye. Curry? Aye. DeVar?
Aye.
Dixon? No. Espy. Evans.
No.
Ryerson.
Yeah.
Gardner.
No.
Geis. Hamilton.
No.
Holloway.
No.
Jennings.
Yes.
Martinson. Yes. Baskerville.
No.
Mayo.
Yay.
Dean.
Aye.
Nelson.
No.
Stratton.
No.
Thompson.
No.
Warren.
Aye.
Weathersfield.
Yes.
Whitty.
Seventeen, 14, the bill is back before us, and you've heard the motion from the gentleman from Clarksdale. The title sufficient do pass as amended, strike off, and Madam Secretary, call the roll again. Yes.
Clark.
No.
Arnold. Tracy Arnold.
I'm sorry, I can't hear down here.
On the bill. On the bill.
Yay.
Bain.
No.
Parker.
Aye.
Boyd.
Aye.
Barnett. No. Calhoun.
No.
Chisholm.
Aye.
Crawford. Aye. Curry. Aye. DeVar.
Aye.
Dixon.
Dixon.
No.
Nestor.
Aye.
Evans.
No.
Ryerson.
Yeah.
Gardner.
No.
Geis.
Aye.
Hamilton.
No.
Holloway.
No.
Jennings.
No.
Martinson. Yes. Baskerville.
No.
Mayo.
Aye.
McGee.
Aye.
Nelson.
No.
Stratton. Thomas.
No.
Warren.
Aye.
Weathersby.
No.
Whittington.
No.
Okay, the bill has failed on a 15 to 16 vote with 15 yeas and 16 nays. So I hear a motion for rising for rising. Yeah. All in favor of that motion, say aye. Aye. Okay, do I hear a motion for rising? All in favor?